Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and I've got a little playlist, long form video for you guys of some of my favorite and most classic ACDC song tutorials. Obviously one of the greatest rock bands of all time with the greatest guitar riffs. So I thought I'd put it all together in one long form video for you guys. I hope you dig it. If you do like it, let me know in the comments below. Without further ado, enjoy the ACDC extravaganza. And we're going to start with the A power chord. So open A, 2nd fret D, 2nd fret G. The rest is muted, and I'm just using one finger to do it. You know, extra credit if your thumb kind of rests there to mute the E string. So it just is out of the way. That's cool, but don't worry too much about it. We start with the A chord. Da-na-na. Then we're going to do what's called a D over F sharp, but we're going to do a fingering like they do it. And so it's going to be like this. Pinky is going to be on the 3rd of the B. Ring is going to be on the 2nd of the G. Middle is going to be on the 2nd of the low E. And so the middle finger is muting the A string. And the pinky is muting the high E. I'm not even trying to do it. They just naturally mute those. So that's a D over F sharp. But the cool thing about it is the 2nd chord, which is a G power chord. The pinky is just going to stay, and the ring finger just comes off, and the middle finger moves up to the 3rd fret of the low E. And so what you're only playing is that. That's muted. Open D, open G, 3rd on the B, high E's muted. So it looks like this. My ring finger is blocking the view. I get that, but... So the first chord, I used to always play it. That's the exact same thing, but I watched them do it. And it's pretty fun to play it like that, so check it out. So it's da 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 da, and then da 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 da, and then just one da da da. Then we're going to go to an E chord, but if you mute that G with your index finger, it's a little more, a little cleaner, distorted chord. So it's E power chord. Da, 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A, D. So now we're going to play that A power chord again. But if you get the B string in there, that's all right. And then we're going to play a full D chord. So you can get that there. Then we're going to play the classic way they play a G power chord, which is middle finger on the 3rd, ring on the 3rd of the B, pinky on the 3rd of the high E. That A string's muted by the middle finger. Ring finger stays to the D chord. G, D. So A, D, G, D, A, D, G, D, A, D, G, D, A, D. Let it ring out. So when it goes to that chorus, it's more of a just down, 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 da, da. D, G, D, A, D, G, D, A, D, G, D, A, D. Then right before the solo, D, D, G, D, 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 G, D, 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 A, D. So they do a little break, and then right after the break, he does a little pick slide. They do a little break, and then it goes, when it comes out of the break, it's G, D again, So just remember real quick, right before that solo is D, G, D. And then again, D, G, D, G, D, D, A, D. So that gets you the whole song. What they do for the ending is they, just like in the chorus, I'm going down. Audience is going crazy, all kinds of weird, out of control, and then finally they end it on the A. All right, so you've got Angus and Malcolm, two different guitar parts going on. So let's start with the intro, and Angus goes... And so that's an A power chord, and then middle finger on the 3rd fret A, ring finger then on the 4th, then back to the power chord. So... and it does it again. And the other guitar part comes in on the other side, and then when everything's kicked in, this part happens more frequently. And then now let's go to the Malcolm part that starts happening. You need a G power chord, which is middle finger on the 3rd fret E string. And you're muting the A string. This is how they always play a G chord. And then you've got 3rd fret B, 3rd fret high E. And so this is the G chord. Then you've got the D chord that ACDC plays, and it's like a regular D major chord, but you're not playing that high E. You're either muting it or not playing it at all. So you get that. And so you get the G, D, G, D, lick down A. So... and there's rhythm that I'm going to show you. But first, the chord transitions. G. So you do that. Then the D chord, pinky on the 4th fret A. A chord. So little tricky, I guess. Like that. So now go back to the G, D. Just like that. Now Malcolm's going, so he's got this little strumming going on. So So even on that, it's got da-da on that. And then you go back over to Angus during the verses, he's doubling that part, but he just simplifies it a bit. Malcolm. Then you've got, gonna take it down. And you've got, it's a C power chord to a G power chord. So you got a C power chord right here. And then the classic G. Now another way to play that C power chord is playing a C major, but you're muting this D string. And you're not playing the high E. Same chord. So you got C, G, C. Either one. Then a D power chord to A power chord, same rhythm. So from the top of that, I'm gonna take it down, down, then up to D. Then we're going to go to a E Hendrix chord, also known as E7 sharp 9. And so that's 7th fret A, 6th fret D, 7th fret G, pinky on 8th fret of the B, and then you're going to go like this. You're going to hit the open E, and then dun dun, 2 stabs on the chord part. Into the chorus. So check it out. So the chorus is A on the downbeat, and then on the upbeat, the G, and then on the upbeat, the D. But sometimes, especially when it ends the section, that last D will be on the downbeat. So check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now we get to a part where it's the E Hendrix part and it doubles up. And then, so you've got that, which we already know it, but it just repeats. Then you've got a new part. And so you're playing the ring finger, ring finger, 7th fret G, and then 8th fret B. And then that pinky comes back a half step. I mean, it's like a D sus. Back and forth. And then that double stop, which is 7 on the G and B, you go with the index finger on the 5 of the G and B, so. And then hitting that root on the 7 of the D. Then the C, G, C. So you're bending, it's like the A minor pentatonic root on the A string position. So we're bending 15th fret B string. And pinky is on the 15 of the high E with it. So it's a bend, pulled off to 13, then 14 on the G, back to the B, 13, 15, and then you move it up a whole step into the Hendrix. That's just that extra part. Right back into it, right back into the chorus, but then hits on the into the classic ACDC breakdown. You got a piece of A major, which you could just cover the 14th fret D, G, B. A few different ways to play this one. You can move up. Same voicing. So here, I'll do it going down. So right here. Then I'm grabbing this piece of a G major. And so it's 10th fret there, 12, 12. Then the piece of the D chord, which I'm just playing 10, 10, 11. And then you have a little cool little walk up. So it's 0, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. G and D. There's some light guitar banter interplay going on here over the chorus chords. With all the, all that stuff, it builds up. Then it goes into the rip-roaring chorus, And he's doing this little repeating idea here. So that's 10th fret B, and then 12th fret G bending up to it. So first it's spread out, then they get closer and closer together. He's shaking that vibrato on top of that. Then he does the classic Angus soloing stuff, lots of awesome licks. And then finally, some hits on D. All that. And then a quick G, 2 hits on G. And on that A. And then you've got the whole song. It's pretty tough to do the alternate picking for the whole song. Here's how I can do it if you want to. I mean, something that I do is I plant my pinky when I have to do like fast, like a legato, like on one string. that, I'm sloppier, you know? So that was with hammer-ons and pull-offs. So if you want to be as accurate as possible, you're going to have to work on your alternate picking. Start slow and try and build it up. Or you can do these hammer-on pull-offs and have it be, you know, more realistic, be able to actually play it or jam it with a band. So we have open B string. Everything's on the B string. So open B, and then with one pick, because I'm going to teach you the hammer-on pull-offs now. We're going to go. So one open, and then a 4th fret pull-off open. So then I'm going to reach up to the 7th fret of the B string and pull that off. See, it starts with that open string, but the move is basically... and then move it up a half step between the 5 and the 8 on the B string. Now we need to do just think every note, every fret I tell you is followed by a pull-off open B string. So we're going to go 12, 10, 9. Then back up to 10. Then back. See that? So then you have to go 7, 9, followed by 5, 7. So it kind of breaks the pattern there a little bit. Very nursery rhyme sounding, huh? So it's followed by a repeating pattern of 4 and 5 on the B string. So and it actually does that part almost the whole song. The 12, 10, 9, 10, 9, 7, 9, 5, 7, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. Now the chugging chord underneath the is a B power chord, so we want 2, 4, 4. We're gonna get some palm muting there. Down, up, down, down. So we start with down, up, down, down. Down, Down, up, down, 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 up, up. Down, up, down, 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 up, up. Down, up, down, 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 up, up. Down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, down. And even if you're thinking of that pattern, you're going to be hearing, we want to focus on down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, down. But we're going to be hearing, even if I'm saying down, down, you're hearing those ghost ups, you know, as part of that palm muting. Down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, down, 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 up, 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 down, 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 up, down, 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 up, 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 down, down, up, down, 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 down. The next riff we need is you know, where then it holds out. So we've got that B power chord, then an A power chord, real quick to an E power chord, like this. So that open A and second fret D, open E, second fret A. Look at the right hand. So then A, E. All right, then that brings us to some hits. Right, so first it starts with the B, A, E. Does that same thing, but adds an A to start with. A, B, A, E. Again, A, B, A, E. Again, A, B, A, E. But the first one is B, A, E. Then A, B, A, E, right? So you've got shaking at the knee. Not even gonna try. Here we go. Shaking at the knees. Could have killed it, please. Down, 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 down. You been. So now we have what I would call the chorus riff, and it's revolving around the same kind of ideas, but it changes it up a little bit. It's the B power chord. You can do a 2-finger or the full one to A. But then we have to do this kind of, it's the open A and open D, which is like a backwards D power chord or inverted D power chord. And then to those two notes, which is the second fret of A and D. So and that's like an E inverted power chord. So then it scoots over to the A power chord, then up to the E power chord. So from the top of this chorus riff, so on there's 3 different strums where you're just strumming the A and D, because that A power chord is that as well. That one as well, that one as well, that one as well, and then the open E. So. Now we have what's called the bridge, or that's what I'm calling it. And it's just another variation on those B's and E's. So it's a B power chord again, and then 2nd fret, 4th fret on the E string, then the E power chord. All right, so it starts with kind of some finger picking. I do the tuck my pick under my finger there, and I'm using my middle and ring finger, but you know, whatever you're already comfortable with is going to work. Let's just for a second look at the G string and the open B string. So 1st fret, which comes from that E major chord, but we're just plucking the 1st fret G and the open B. Then our index finger comes up kind of like an A chord, but we're just playing the G and B, so 2nd fret. The next move has middle finger on the 4th of the G and index on the 3rd of the B. However, some people might prefer their ring and middle finger. I'm using these two for that. So. And when you get to that, that's got that little wiggle vibrato. Like that. The next move is I'm back on that A shape, but now my thumb is hitting the open A with it. Like that. So my thumb's on the A string, and then my middle finger's on the G, and my ring finger's on the B. And you do 2 of those, then back to that shape, and you can still get that A in there. And so what's going on there is we're doing a little like microtonal bend on that 3rd fret E string. This is all blues stuff right here. I know you're shocked. And so we're doing a little tuggy tug into the E power chord. I'm using my index finger to just cover that a 2nd fret of the A and D. Next, it just repeats the idea. And just a little variation. Bum, 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 E. So this is an E power chord up here as well. But you hear the hand sliding back, so that's why I'm playing it up here on the 7th fret. If you played, you'd be fine too. I do that tuck the pick because I can immediately access it. And that's just something that evolved over me playing for many, many years. So we have that. Picks ready. And so the only variation when you rock that part, especially if you're only one guitar player, because obviously ACDC it's always 2 guitars left and right. complementing each other. But you're going to take a full E chord and then a full A, you know, one finger A chord. And I'm actually, the bass on this part when it's rocking is a D note. So you can actually get the open D in there on this, because the bass is playing that. You know? And, you know, if I'm like going to this classic E chord ACDC style, I'm noticing I'm changing my fingering from this bend to my pinky, because I'm just, for so long, I've been used to going, well, I can still hold that chord. More blues techniques. Here we go. Think of an E blues now. Just like that, you know. You got the open E string, you got the second fret on the A, ring finger up to the fourth, the classic. But instead, you know, it's got that AC/DC vibe. So right, so you got E up, E up, up. Another just little classic, you know, kind of like a Jimmy Page thing. So I'm just doing that little microtonal bend with my middle finger on the third fret into the A, and then just the blues boogie again. And I mean, if it's a two guitar thing, you could have another guitar player. You know, there's different embellishments that you can add. The next part, which we could call the pre-chorus, fun and easy. It's my favorite way to be, fun and easy. E to D. And I'm playing them like power chords, and the way I do that is I think of the E major chord like this. But I'm just muting my index finger. In other words, I'm not pressing down. And then I go to the D chord. Same thing. My middle finger's muting that high E. So then I'm going to a B power chord. So second fret, fourth fret, fourth fret. Back to E. And you have E up here too. Then again, E, D, but now A. So if we take an E major chord, and then that index finger that's on the first fret of the G, we just mute it. We don't press down. So when you do that, you get an E power chord, also known as an E5. We're going to be focusing on the lower strings, but it's nice to just know the full power chords there. But we're going to focus more on the thick strings. So we do that, and we cut it off. I'm muting it with my right hand there, so bum. Then we're going to do a D5 or a D power chord, and you just take a regular D chord, and we mute the middle finger note. How dare I? And once again, we're really kind of focusing on the D and G. If you get the B in there, or you strum the whole thing, it's fine. So that's the D power chord by muting that. Okay, so we have E. Then we go to that D, but we mute that high E string and we go da da da, down up down. And then we mute it with the right hand. So you have E, D D D. Then we do an A power chord and we do the one finger A chord like this, open A, and then second fret D, second fret G. And that's the A power chord. We don't want those high strings. Those are just muted. So I'm focused on pressing down on the D and G. So we have E power chord, D power chord, A power chord, down, up, down. So now we have a great E minor pentatonic scale lick. And I'm doing my alternate picking. If it's too hard, you want to practice that, but you could do pull-offs. But the articulation sounds different when you pick the notes. So we're going to go ring finger on the 3 of the high E, and then open. Same thing on the B string, 3-0. And then middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G, and we're going to bend it up a half step, back down, and open. And it happens really fast, but here it is slow. So that G string's just one pick. And definitely have a Chuck Berry influence here on that second riff. But let's do the first one again, super slow, and then we'll learn that second lick. Here we go. And you know, the original recording, they do he's just keeping the tempo and he's just muting, going tss, tss, B, D, 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 A, rest. Same chords again. Now we're going to do this next lick, which is just great for your guitar dexterity. You can use your index and ring finger for the whole thing. I'm used to using my pinky. I'm going to leave that up to you, but we're going to start with the 2nd fret on the A string, then 4th fret on the E string, then back to the 2nd fret on the A string, then 5th fret on the E string, then back to the 2nd fret again, and then all the way up. You know, our hand has to kind of jump around all the way up to the 7th fret. And if you look, that 2nd fret and 7th fret, that's the same note, but it's got that Chuck Berry thing. It just sounds different then, right? So that's the way they do it. 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7. So it's just going up 4, 5, 6, 7, each time going back to the 2nd fret. And when you get up to there, you kind of hear it slide back to get back into the riff again. So you put all that together and you get this. Now we need to go to the next section, which we could call the chorus or the pre-chorus, depending on how you just identify it as the next section. So we're going to start with the A power chord. Then we go to an E power chord. So we just scoot it up. And we're going to just do the 1-finger E power chord for that. So you can focus on the 2 strings, the A and D for this one, and the E and A strings for this one. So, and then with the index already there, we can play a B power chord, which would be the 2nd fret and the 4th fret. I like to put my pinky on the 4th of the G as well. Just more room to cover if I'm not being accurate with my picking. It's still a B power chord. And we're going to go like this. And we just take our index off to get the open A in there. Back to the 2nd fret. So you put that all together. And then look, my index finger's ready to scoot back over to the A. So it does that twice. Then we're going to do a G, but it's a G power chord. Same idea where we're going to be muting some strings. I like to do it this way. Middle finger on the root, 3rd fret of the E string, and it mutes the A string. Then we get the open D and G in there. But you can get your ring finger on the 3rd of the B, and that's a great G power chord. I like to double up and put my pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E, and you don't even have to hit it. We're once again just digging into the thicker strings, but if you get the whole thing, it sounds great, and it's still a power chord. So check it out. A, E, B, A, B. A, E, B, A, E. And then we go to that G, and we're going to go G power chord, D power chord. Just remember, that's muted. Then the A power chord. So G, D, A. And then middle finger is going to grab the 3rd fret of the low E. And you just give it a little nudge, pull down. Back to the A power chord. And you can see my thumb. This is natural to me from playing for a long time, but my thumb, without having to think about it, just mutes that low E when I don't want to hear it ring out. It just gives me a cleaner sound. But don't worry about that. If you're not doing that yet, that's like just with the evolution of your playing. So here's that section. A, E, B, A, B, A, E, B, A, E. Now we go to the G. G, D, A, G, A. And you do that twice. Then we go to the first one again. A, E, B, A, B, A, E, B, A, E. Then we're going to let power chords ring out on G. Back in black. It's a back in black. And so the back in black triple is the D power chord. All right, so the rhythm guitar underneath the solo, we can do, it's kind of like a blues. If you have the open E string and the index finger on the 2nd, and then you have the 4th, and then you have the 5th. Right? It goes like this. Same rhythm as the regular part. So you got the E power chord, but then pinky goes, or your ring finger if you can do it, but to the 5th fret, and you still got the open E in there. Da, da, da. Then ring finger to the 4th of the A with the open E. And then da, 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 da on the E power chord. And you can play a full one, muting that G, or you can do an E power chord just straight like that. So And the second time, E, A, E, A, E. So it's... Right? And as the solo builds, they open it up with open strings, and there's a few ways you can do it, but I think I'm just going to take an executive decision here and show it to you this way. This is just as the solo builds. You can do an E power chord right here, which would be 7, 9, 9, and then the open B and high E, like that. And it's just a fuller sounding thing. And then the same thing down here, and you can let those strings ring out. Then all you do is just move your index down a half step, like that. So, like that. So it's just a variation. If you wanted to play the rhythm the original way the whole time, that'll work, but that's what they do. And then they get finally back into that B section of the song. My favorite part of the song, and we're going to do it like this. This is how I'm going to teach it to you. Open E. Then we're going to do this kind of thing where my fingers are kind of lined up, and I'm going to go. So pinky's on the 5, ring finger's behind it on the 4, index is behind it on the 2nd, and I'm pulling that off. So open E, then I pull this off. But then I go back to the 4th, so. And then I'm going middle finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, so. And if I'm looking down now at my hand, I'm going. I'm picking that 4th of the A with a down pick, and then up pick to the 3rd. Then we just simply do the second, it's not simple, but we do the second half of the original riff. 2nd fret on the A, 5th on the E, 2nd, 6th, 2nd, 7. Put that together. And I'm very used to alternating my picking. That's something that you may want to practice with some basic scales for a while. But that's, it's a technique that you're going to want to get down. Get down! Get down! Get to the chopper! Then we do the exact same thing down a string. So open A string, and then the little pull-off thing is on the D string. So to E. And that is the trickiest part of the song, but the coolest part of the song, I think. And then you've got the there's nothing new to learn from this point on. Those are all the parts. I think on the original studio recording, it goes back into soloing and it fades, but it has a little kind of fake ending that's on an A chord. And then you've got the whole thing. Yeah! Thunder! Hope you guys dug it. Let me know in the comments if you want more stuff like this where it's just all of them in one video. I think it's kind of fun to do, so let me know. Thanks for supporting Marty Music. Hope to see you in another video again real soon. See ya!